And boom, we're live. Hello, everyone. This is your host, Ibrahim Susiwala, and you are listening to the podcast Chronic Convo. It is live right now. Uh, as advertised yesterday, various platforms on our pages, on Facebook and on Twitter, we are going live today with a sole purpose of helping out uh, the startups and the businesses that are actually going bust right now because of the lockdown that we are facing in this coronavirus pandemic situation. And so we are going to do a little bit of Q&As. I'm just waiting if anyone else is going to join or any other questions comes in. First and foremost, thank you very much for the support that you have shown to Chronic Convo. To all the listeners, we have overtaken, I think we have overtaken uh, wow, we have 725 subscribers. So it's been a very short journey for us. We started in February. This channel was started in February, and we have already surpassed the 500 mark. And we are moving forward, surging forward towards 1,000 subscribers. So thank you very much for the support. Thank you very much for the viewership. No matter where you have actually found our channel, from Facebook or from Instagram or from Twitter, or on YouTube directly. We are very thankful to you here at Chronic Convo uh, for all the support that you have shown, and we hope that you will continue with the support for us in the near future as well. And I hope that I will be able to put the right kind of content online so that it can help more and more people. This is just one way for me to help out the society, to give back society something from all the experience and everything that I have gotten from the society itself. So that's the main idea behind all this, and it really seems to be working right now. And I hope that it will keep working in the future as well. Uh, Keep liking, keep subscribing to this channel, and we will stay connected, and we will keep putting on the right kind of content for you people. So we can start with the podcast right now. So I have got a few questions on my email ID, which we can actually discuss uh, one by one. All right. So first and foremost, let me give you an introduction to the problem that we are actually going to discuss today in this podcast. Uh, right now, coronavirus pandemic is going on all around the world, because of which there has been lockdowns in each and every country, and these lockdowns have now turned into something of a recession creator in the economies around the globe. A lot of businesses have shut down. You cannot just go into mainly one or two businesses that have been affected. Just about every business has been affected except for the essential commodity businesses. The agricultural business has been booming because people have been stocking a lot of these essential commodities like rice or sugar or whatever edible products that come in from the agriculture industry. At the same time, there has been a boom in certain entertainment industry as well, where it comes to live streaming of entertainment content on platforms like Netflix, on platforms like uh, iTunes and Apple live streaming. Of course, Amazon Prime is also there in this race, and it has been really good time for them, considering everyone is locked down at their homes, and considering everyone is staying safe in their home and they need something or the other to distract them. So these are certain industries that have been working. On the contrary, there are industries, a lot of industries that have actually had a very hard time running. Directly, if I see if the live streaming is going on and they are being successful, there is a very bad time going on for the theaters, for the cinema halls and theaters, multiplexes, who have run themselves out of business right now because for the last 2 or 3 months now over the globe, uh, because of the social distancing measures that have been taken, A lot of these theaters have actually not been able to generate any kind of revenue, and except for countries like Sweden, where there is no lockdown. uh, Most of the countries, around 186 countries that have been affected by coronavirus, COVID-19, most of them have locked themselves down eventually. So these theaters are actually having a very troubling time right now, because there is no revenue that has been generated by them. The fixed costs are pretty high, their maintenance is pretty high, a lot of staffing is required in these industry, and they are not able to cope with the salaries. So there are a lot of layoffs as well in this industry. At the same time, there are a lot of other costs, like paying rent. A lot of these properties are on lease, and basically what has happened is this: theater owners have stopped paying lease amounts. They have stopped paying the rent to the landlord. The landlord has taken a mortgage on these properties, uh, and landlord is not paying his installments of loan or a mortgage to the bank. And sooner or later, banks are going to step in, and they are going to foreclose their loans, their loan accounts, and they are going to settle their loan accounts by foreclosing and selling these properties, which will end up in disaster for theater companies, a disaster for theater businesses, basically. But likewise, there have been other businesses like textile. In India especially, this whole summertime is actually pretty important for marriage season, where a lot of weddings actually take place. So textile industry has gone down, diamond industry has gone down, restaurants have actually gone down as well, because in the lockdown, governments have not allowed these restaurants to run in India especially, we have seen. And because of that, even if they are running, and even if they are going to give takeouts right now, if they are going to deliver the food at home of the customer, it's still going to be affected. The revenue is still going to go down for the restaurants, because people are very cautious in this time of the coronavirus spread, that they don't want to eat outside, they don't want to take outs, they don't want to take outs. Maybe in metro cities, it is much more of a trend that a lot of bachelors are living over in metro cities, and they rely on these takeouts, they rely on home delivery by restaurants. So there is a good boom of these kind of home delivery revenue. But overall, still they are losing a lot. There are no walk-in customers, there are no walk-in uh, customers basically for these restaurants. And so yeah, they are anyways having a hard time. Likewise, all the motor automobile industry is really having a bad time. So no one is going right now and purchasing a Ferrari. No one is purchasing any kind of car right now. They are just staying at their home, and they are just surviving. And that's the main point. All the businesses are closed, all the offices are closed. There are few service sectors which are open and are working remotely. Banking sector is working remotely. There are corporate sectors all around who are working remotely, which is very important, and which is essential if you are going to stabilize the economy. If you are at least going to cushion the fall of the economy, at least it is very important that these service sectors keep working remotely as well, and they keep churning up the turnovers, they keep churning up the revenue, so that the uh, per capita income of the country is also stabilized. At the same time, the rotation of money in the market is also given a boost. So yeah, that's something that has happened. A lot of stimulus packages have been given by the governments around the globe, but these stimulus packages are super complicated. First and foremost, there are a lot of countries where there is so much corruption that uh, these packages are not going to be enough to stabilize the economy. Stimulus packages are supposed to stabilize the most weakest part of the economy. So the governments, whether it is US or in India, or it might be UAE or any other country in the world, if there is a stimulus package, it will be focused directly upon the weakest section of the population of that country. And then they will give consideration to the middle class and upper middle class, and then the higher society, of course. So Yeah, it is a very hard time, and no one can be blamed for it. First and foremost, it is one of the most important thing that frustrates most of the people, is that there is no one to blame, and so the people are turning towards blaming China. For one thing, China has been blamed a lot about the coronavirus because people are frustrated. It does not make sense. This virus could have come out from anywhere, and considering it came out of China, it's just a coincidence. Yeah, whatever you might think, but we cannot pinpoint one person or one country for this virus, unless the conspiracy theories of this virus being man-made come true. We cannot blame anyone for this right now. Anywho, now the biggest problem that are being faced are by individuals who were reliant on their salaries, who were reliant on their monthly checks, and who were living from check to check basis. Especially in US, there is a huge population that used to work only on uh, their checks, their salaries, monthly salaries, and with this lockdown, a lot of these people have been forced to take up unpaid leave. So unpaid leave has been taken up by a lot of industries. You cannot forget the problem that the airlines are facing all around the globe. All the airlines have been grounded. There are very few flights going on. There are very few routes that are safe enough to actually keep running. And airlines, the complete fleet of airplanes have been grounded, and because of which they have actually had a large fixed cost problem, and they have reduced it by, first and foremost, putting their employees on unpaid leave. And if the employees does not cooperate, these airlines have actually laid off a lot of employees as well. Same goes with textile industry, same goes with a lot of other industries. Right now, the only industry that is reliable, that is stable, and will stay stable for next 1 year or more are the pharmaceutical companies, are the healthcare providers, healthcare providing companies, are any kind of companies that are going to support the healthcare providers. Uh, any accessory making, medical accessory making company, any other company that is connected to the healthcare scenario right now, they are in the safest place right now, economically speaking. So that is somewhere which has to be kept in mind, because I'm going to discuss that in much more detail right now. Now, while the individuals are having a problem with their unemployment, the people who are already unemployed are feeling the heat a lot more now. At the same time, there are a lot of people who were employed but now are being laid off slowly and steadily, which is very unfortunate. Which again cannot be blamed on the employers, because the employers cannot just they cannot take care of their salaries. They cannot keep paying while there is no revenue upfront. There is a very tight situation in the coming days, in the coming months. We can already see a recession coming through. Global recession is right upon us. And if a person, especially an entrepreneur, cannot see that right now, I think that person, he or she, is not going to survive in their businesses, because it if you cannot forecast that, you cannot plan for it. And if you cannot plan for it, you have to be very flexible. You have to be flexible with your plans. And if you don't have the flexibility in your plans, you are going to take the breath of this recession that is coming up. I hope that our forecasts are wrong. I hope that there won't be any recession. But from whatever data that we have received and we have analyzed and done research in, uh, recession is upon us, and this recession is going to be a lot worse than the recession we faced in 2008. So the Wall Street is already in trouble. They are already in trouble. The dollar uh, the dollar trading on the New York Stock Exchange and other stock exchanges over in US are actually anyways going into negative. All around the globe, it has been negative. There has been a downfall. There is an opportunity for investment again in the stock market situations if you have the savings. Again, the quote from Warren Buffett really comes to your mind. Only invest the money that you are left with after you have taken out the saving part. So it's a very cautious thing that has to be calculated. But I think this testing time might be so hard for us that people might have to take risk, especially the unemployed people. Unemployed might have to sit down at home and they will have to risk their savings by investing their money in stock market sooner or later. Uh, if anyone is planning to go into stock market, trust me, it is a very long term investment. You won't be getting any kind of returns anytime soon. You have to at least sit down for the first 6 months without earning anything on the short term. You have to go into the long term game. You have to sit down for at least 2 to 3 years if you want to see a good return of around 25 to 30% on your stocks. So buckle up. If you are planning, it has to be done in a very proper manner. What I would rather say is, if any person is planning to invest in stocks, the joint stocks of a company, a corporate public limited company, it is advisable that you should actually take consultancy from a competent professional before doing that. A competent professional, when I say competent professional, it could be a chartered analyst. A chartered financial analyst can help you out. A chartered financial planner can help you out. CPAs might be helpful as well. At the same time, there might be some help that might come handy from chartered accountants in India and in various other countries where chartered accountants are there. ACCAs in UK. Uh, so yeah, these are the people that should be consulted before you do any kind of investment. uh, the professionals are going to come very handy. The professionals are going to be very important in this phase, because uh, it's a touch and go situation for most of the people. Even if you have a lot of savings, if you have a lot of abundance of resources backed up, you need to use that in a very very cautious manner. You cannot just go out in a very robust manner, and you cannot actually uh, invest the money anywhere, because there will be a very selected avenues where you can invest and get a return in a certain particular timeline that you have decided. So what I would rather suggest is, you need to go to these professionals. You need to plan your business in the right manner. You need to plan your investments in the right manner, so that you can get the hopefully you can get the desirable results. Now, coming to the questions, I have here 7 questions that I have received. I have actually narrowed down to these 7 questions because a lot of questions were repetitive. Oh, sorry. Let me get that. Oh boy. So these are being shortlisted. I have received a lot of emails, and there are a lot of similar questions. So I had to narrow down to these 7 questions, which are most important. Uh, First one is from Abdul Qadir. He is from Senegal, and he had sent this question in French. So I don't know French so well, but I have tried to translate as much as possible. And yeah, so he has asked the question that I have started. So this is just paraphrasing of the question. The question was pretty long and it was in French, so I was not able to deduce that in the right manner. But this is what the final question is basically about. So he has started a startup. He has started a business. Basically, it is a startup company in France, uh, and he was involving himself in diamond industry. So he was basically importing and exporting diamonds out of Africa, and selling these diamonds in France. He is selling that. Sorry. Uh, he has done a very good job in the last 2 years since starting the business, but during this lockdown and 2 or 3 months before the lockdown, when the tourism and everything went down, he has not been able to turn the numbers in the right manner, and now he is finding it hard to get the right investors in as well. So what should he do, he's asking. See, that's a good question. First and foremost, it's not just something that the diamond industry needs to take care of, but there are other industries as well who can actually uh, relate to this question. Cost cutting is going to be the most important thing, Abdul Qadir. Your business, you have actually gone in deep into how many employees you have. So you have 4 employees working for you, and you are thinking of cutting down to just 2 employees at this point of time. You want to move into a smaller office. That's all good. That's all good. That those are certain measures that you might have to take, considering the situation. But to get the investors, it should not be a big problem. You might have to go overboard, and you might have to secure these deals right now. uh, See, you own 100% of the business. That's what I'm assuming right now. And you want investors in. You have actually stated that you are ready to dilute. You are ready to dilute around 28%, 28% of your business stake, and you are ready to invest in this. You are ready to get the investors in, and you are looking for around 2.5 million US dollars worth of funding to keep your business afloat and grow it. All right. So, first and foremost, this is not just a question for diamond industry, but I will give him a direct answer to this. First and foremost, in relation to the diamond industry, there are a lot of avenues around the globe right now. Because of the lockdown, there are a lot of uh, stimulus packages provided in various countries, where they are actually trying to keep hold of the investors and even promote more new investors to come into the country, so that they can stabilize their economy much better. For example, I will just give you an example. In UAE, uh, the UAE authorities, the free zone companies. So in UAE, there are three kind of company. There is an offshore company, there is a free zone company, and then there is a mainland company. Uh, if you are going to trade internationally, just like you are doing in France right now, Abdul Qadir, it is imperative that you should look into UAE, because in Dubai, you are getting company incorporated at a very less cost right now. Secondly, you are getting 6 months worth of free office space without any rent. For 6 months, you don't have to pay any rent. Thirdly, there will be the similar kind of tourism in Dubai as well. So I don't think so. It is so much behind France. Of course, France being the highest number of tourists are basically to visit France each and every year. So it's being a very perfect place, to be very frank, for diamond industry, uh, especially when tourists who come into France are looking to shop. So yeah, but you can look into the option of UAE. In Dubai, you can go to DMCC. You can incorporate a company over there. I can help you out with that if you want. Over there, licensing fees by the government has been reduced. The compliance fee has been reduced. And the most important thing is, because you already have a turnover in place, you can start a foreign company, a subsidiary of your French company over in Dubai. You can show the same turnover, same sales that you have already shown in the last 2 years over there, and the banks will be able to fund you much better in Dubai. The cost of lending, the leveraging cost over in Dubai is maximum around 3%. So it is very, very viable. The banks over in Dubai are very cooperative right now. They are actually trying to help promote the businesses. They are also giving flexible installments to repay the loans. So I would really, really recommend you that you should look into this, because 28% or 29% stake that you might be giving, you don't have to give that. You can go to Dubai, you can have the company in place, and you can actually get a loan from the banks over in Dubai. I can help you again with that. uh, if you need, or if you have a consultant in place, you should talk to him or her. Yeah. So other businesses as well. There are so many avenues right now being given in UAE, especially. There are certain for import and export businesses. There are certain subsidies, certain uh, advantages that have been given to the investors who are coming into Philippines, who are coming into Singapore. These are the countries where they are actually trying to stabilize the economy by giving corporate sector a boom. Corporate sector let go of the compliance fees and the licensing fees, and you can move in these directions, and you can actually start your business over there. You can get loans from DBS Bank in Singapore. You can get loans from various banks in Dubai. The banks I have been working with are Mashrik Bank and ADCB. You can also work with Noor Bank over there, and Rak Bank is there. If you are incorporating a company in Ras Al Khaimah, you are really going to get a good preferential working with Rak Bank over in UAE. So these are good avenues for you first and foremost, in which you can get the funds that you require for to keep your business afloat for next 1 year. It is very important. I am reiterating this, that it is very important that you keep the businesses afloat for the next 1 year. If you can survive the next 1 year, there is a good chance that you will actually see a larger boom in all the industries. You will see a larger appreciation in the growth of the businesses later on, because the demand will of course go up once the vaccine especially comes. The sentiments of the once the vaccine for coronavirus actually comes, beg your pardon, the sentiments of the economy, the sentiments of the market are going to go upwards into the green, and you will be able to pull away again, once again. Uh, Considering all the healthcare industries that are around, especially the pharmaceutical companies, especially the startups who are working in healthcare industry, it is very important that you think about expansion. There are investors out there who will back you up right now as we speak. You need to get in touch with the right kind of investors, and you need to get going with it, because there is idle money. Venture capitalists are very calculated people when it comes to investment. They take high risk, but they take calculated risk. And right now, there is no other industry that is much more reliable than the healthcare industry, especially if you are doing any kind of work in relation to the coronavirus epidemic, pandemic. It will be really helpful for you to pitch that to the investors, and you can get the investment, and you can expand as much as possible internationally right now. uh, Outsourcing businesses at the boom for the people, for the pharmaceutical companies who are actually into manufacturing. So molecular medicine remedies for COVID-19 are already being prepared, are already being researched for. And I'm sure that we are pretty close to that. Biotechnology experts have been telling me that they are because they already got the sequence of this virus readily from China in mid January itself. And once you get the sequence, I think they can develop the molecular remedies to this virus very quickly. And we have seen that, and we are hoping that these molecular remedies will be in the market soon. And a lot of you know, job work pharmaceutical companies who are into manufacturing of medicine on behalf of other pharmaceutical companies who hold the patent for these molecules, they should be ready. They should be pitching their ideas and pitching their profiles right now to a lot of other R&D houses who are researching into these molecular remedies of coronavirus. And you should be ready with whatever consignment they require. uh, and this is the time when you can grow. There This is the time when you can actually have earned extraordinary profits, because there will be a shortage of these medicines. If the lockdowns are to be done away with, and the governments want that all the economies and all the people who are trapped right now at home go out and start working and get a normality back into life, uh, they will need this medication, they will need this preventative medication, as well as healing medications as well for coronavirus, COVID-19. Yeah, so that's the first question by Abdul Kader. If any of the startups that are feeling the wrath of this lockdown and are seeing a alarming rate of downfall in their growth level, uh, you need to get your shit together first and foremost. You need to act in the right manner. You need to get yourself composed, and you need to go out and you need to find the right avenues. Right now is not the time to narrow your mind. There will be a lot of people who won't want to leave their local countries. There are a lot of entrepreneurs who want to live there and live in their native country and want to run their business in the native country. You can live in the native country, but you might have to move your businesses to various other places where you might have to put in a little bit of investment, and you can get much more return from that in the long term. You need to assess, you need to get the right kind of guidelines right now, because if you don't have that, I mean, it is the end for you. Startups are anyways pretty fragile. uh, you might have some backed up funds, you might have raised from certain investors earlier, but don't wait for these funds to be exhausted. You need to put these funds in the right place so that you can make it productive. You are not going to exhaust these funds by just providing salaries to your employees or taking care of the fixed cost of the business. You need to apportion a certain part of these funds and invest them in the right place so that you can survive during this hard time. All right, so that's for the startups. We'll move to another question. Just have some drink. Okay, this new question, other question has come from a person. I'm sorry, I can't spell this name. It is you are from Poland, and you have started a IT business right now. Last 8 months ago in Norwich, in Southampton, Southampton in UK. Uh, I can. So the first name is Poznansky, and I'm sorry I cannot spell your last name. So it's Mr. Poznansky from UK, who has started a business in IT software development in UK 8 months ago. You graduated 1 year ago from Norwich University, and you have started this, and you are finding it very hard to get the right kind of clients. You're finding it very hard to get the right kind of clients in that can keep your business afloat. You are right now working remotely, and you have let go of all the employees. All right, so you are looking, what should I do? What should I do next in my business to keep it afloat and maybe even grow into this? Okay. Uh, all right. So, Mr. Poznansky, first and foremost, I hope that all of you in UK are safe right now. The pandemic has really had a very bad hold, and a very bad situation has been created on in the UK and a lot of pressure has been put on NHS. Uh, I'm a chartered secretary and administrator from UK, so my thoughts go out to all the people in UK and all the business entrepreneurs as well over there who are having a very hard time of making ends meet. Uh, so yeah, so this is pertaining to software industry. See, considering you are in software industry and you are into software development particularly, it is actually not going to affect you so hard Sooner or later you will be able to start getting the orders back from your clients. You have stated that you have not been paid by your clients for the last 1 month, and because of which you have all right. uh, all considered, you have a very small business and you are at a very very initial stage of your business. And so I think it might have been the right decision from your end to have let go of the employees for now. You have also said that you have let go of the office space, which will be ending at the end of April. The lease for that is going to be terminated at the end of April. All the software developers and software engineers who might be listening to this podcast need to understand that you can work remotely. You don't need a place where you have to particularly sit, and you have to, if you have the infrastructure at home, you can actually start working from home and it's going to be just fine for you. Sooner or later you will be getting the right kind of orders for software development, website development. You need to widen your gaze. That's the most important thing right now. So there are software developers who are basically working in .php format or .net, or certain people are just working in Java. So you people will need to widen your gaze. You need to diversify the amount of services that you are providing. Uh, when I say diversify, you may have to venture into website development as well as software development, and along with that, you might even have to work on content writing. You might have to take up contracts for social media marketing. These things might have to be done from your end. And what you can do is right now to strengthen yourself, uh, make a team of independent contractors. It is going to be hard because you won't have an office as well in place. It is much more convenient for you if you have a relationship with independent contractors who are working in various different domains, various different verticals. So, for example, if you are into software development and you are developing software in Java, you need to find a couple of people who will be working in .php format as well. There will be people who will be working in .net format. Uh, yeah, you need to get these people, and you need to have sign a contract with these people as and hire them as independent contractors, in which you pay them project to project. You pay them on the project to project basis. Mr. Poznansky, what I would rather say is that uh, you need to consider your strategy in marketing right now. You are very essential as the owner of the business. You need to start getting yourself indulged in marketing of your business, indulged in finding the right kind of projects, bidding for those projects, getting those contracts in, and you need to pass on the delivery part to these independent contractors. I am pretty sure that you won't. Yeah, from your question, your email, which was in pretty much detail, you are working on the marketing part as well as on the delivery part, and I think that will exhaust you. The growth factor of your business will go down, because if you are going to concentrate on everything, you are going to be the jack of all trades. uh, you won't be the king of any. You are not going to be the king of any trade then. So what I would rather suggest is you need to start having Zoom calls with new potential clients. You need to start getting in partners maybe who have experience in this industry, and who are also feeling the heat because of this lockdown and because of COVID-19. First and foremost, you need to stay safe, so please don't go out of your houses. uh, Over in UK especially, you need to be very safe. I hope that you are in UK and not in Poland, because even in Poland it has started to pick up. But yeah, if you are in UK, it is time that you need to browse your social circle. You need to interview a lot of people who will work as independent contractors under you. You need to find the right kind of partners, the right kind of mix for your company, for your new business. You need to find long term partners as well. Partners with experience will be an added advantage for you, so that you can pitch your company's profile to much larger corporations. Right now, if you have just started the business last 8 months, you don't have the credentials in place to go to big players right now. So yeah, I mean, yeah, this is the way to go. Find a partner, because there will be a lot of weak links. There will be a lot of people who might be feeling the hate, who might actually be ready to partner with you, uh, considering you can share the cost with them for the fixed costs of their businesses as well. So yeah, I mean, that will give you an added advantage. A senior person in your firm will actually help you out. Likewise, any other software development company or any other service sector company should also take these into consideration, that having partnerships right now will not be a bad idea for you. Having exclusive partnerships is not necessary. You can have partners who will work on certain projects with you, who will lend their name and experience to your firm, and so that your firm, your startups, can actually look stronger in the market, and they are able to bid for bigger projects. Even if you get the bigger projects, you might not have the experience, but you might have this partner who will help you out with the complexities of these projects, and yeah, you can move forward with that in mind. uh, See, this is not going to end soon. The coronavirus pandemic is not going to go away just like that. Um, it's The chances of have that happening is very, very less. They are saying that the earliest possible vaccine that they can prepare is at least 12 months to 18 months away. They are going to start human trials in the ninth or 10th month. So they are going to start the human trials for these vaccines in, say, October or November. And so if you take 6 months from there, as far as my experience goes with the pharmaceutical companies and biotechnological companies that I have been working with, yeah, I mean, there are 6 to 8 months at least that are required after human trial is started. So till the time vaccines don't come in, we are going to be in this precarious situation where the governments might open the economy, let go of the lockdown for a month, and if again the slope and the rises, the number of infected people rises, they will have to actually have to lock down the whole place again, and then reopen it, reassess it, and then lock down it again. This might be going on for some time. So it's very, very important for the people to let go of the narrow mindedness, narrow mentality when it comes to their businesses. There are instruments which will protect you individually from other people, uh, and there are instruments which will help you keep the liability at bay. Your personal liability can be kept at bay by going into private limited companies and limited liability companies, into incorporations. In public limited companies are again another important aspect as well in all this, where the liability that you will incur will be limited to whatever amount you are investing in the business, and so you can easily go in and partner with other people, partner with other professionals in your industry, and you can get the best out of this relationship. I hope that you take this into consideration. uh, I'm completely open. At the same time, my appeal goes to a lot of venture capitalists as well, who might listen to this podcast. If you want to consider certain proposals, I have a lot of proposals from startups in healthcare industry and other industries as well, in India and abroad. If you want to look at certain profiles, please email me or contact me on my Facebook page, or you can contact me on the email ID official chronic convo @gmail.com. It's official chronic convo @gmail.com. uh, I can help you out. I can actually share a lot of profiles as well. The questions that I have gotten from them, I have asked from you all your business profiles as well, so that I can maybe share that. Uh, yeah. So moving to the next question. Okay, so this question comes out from India. So this question has been asked by one of the startups from Delhi. Uh, so the name of the person is Ajna Sharma. She is asking that what are the avenues for her, uh, because she has been already been given a notice for uh, vacating her job. What are the options available for her as a mechanical engineer, uh, and what are the possibilities of her getting another job soon? What should she do in the meantime, and what will make up for her to actually excel in getting a better job than the one she has already she is going to leave at the end of this month. Okay, so from what I understood is that Archana, you are going to get laid off at the end of the month. You have already been served the 30 days mandatory notice by your company, and you are supposed to find another job. And that's what you are asking. What are the options open to you? You are okay. You are working in a okay machine manufacturing company. Okay. See, it's pretty hard right now to say what are the avenues open for you. But considering you are from the mechanical engineering field, I think it is a pretty evergreen kind of a field where you can work remotely as well. I want you all to uh, watch out for freelance work on certain websites. So one of the best website on which you can find a lot of freelance work is upwork.com. It's upwork, upwork.com. You can go on this website, you can sign up. It is free of cost. You can find freelance work over there. So you have to select particular field in which you specialize in, and whatever work orders that come in on Upwork, that will be available to you, to all the people, free of cost. And whatever amount you earn, you have to bid for these projects. And once the person who has posted the project accepts your bid, whatever amount you are going to earn, a percentage of that is going to go to Upwork. So I think around 20% or 10% to 20% of the amount goes to Upwork, and the remaining amount is credited to your account. So it's a pretty safe. Upwork was formerly known as Odesk, but now it has been the name has been changed to Upwork, Upwork.com. So I recommend that anyone who is getting laid off, who is actually unemployed right now and is sitting at home, to go on Upwork.com and have a look at it. I think it will be very, very encouraging for you once you go on, because there is so much work right now flowing in into the freelance. A lot of businesses have laid off people just like you. And what they are doing is they are trying to get their projects, yeah, they are trying to get their work done by freelancers in the meantime for cheaper price. They don't want to cover up your salary, so they are going to get the work that you were doing in half of that salary on websites like upwork.com. Just have a look at that. All right. So if you go on upwork.com, it is 100% authenticated way of working as a freelancer online. There are freelancer.com is another website that you can actually go. There are so many unemployed people. So what I would rather do is I will talk about different fields in which people are working and might be unemployed, or might be getting laid off, or losing their job soon. And first and foremost, don't demotivate yourself. You have to keep yourself 100% motivated, that it is not because you are not worth it that you have been let go by the company. It is just the situation we are in. There are a lot of employees who have accepted half salary, and they are staying in the company for now. But there are other employees, especially the air flight attendants and the flight crew in these airlines, who are the air hostesses and all the staff, who have taken unpaid leave for the last month and even for this month, and they are staying employed for the time being with this unpaid leave. but sooner or later they actually require their salaries as well. Likewise, a lot of football clubs in UK have the players have actually forgone their right to the monthly salary, so that the working staff of the club, the backroom staff of the club can be actually kept, and their salaries can be covered. So a lot of sacrifices are going on. This is not the making of one person. It is not a making of uh, some kind of a political or conspiracy driven agenda. It's not like that. You have done nothing wrong, neither have your employers done anything wrong, but it is just the situation we are in, that there is no incoming for a lot of businesses, and there are a lot of outgoings with the fixed cost. So any business might have to retreat right now in this situation, and they might have to take a step back, downscale the business for the time being, and just hope for the best and survive in this market. So considering what is going to come in future in the next 6 months or so, it is very imperative for a lot of businesses to actually go into this mode of retreating, contracting themselves right now to a smaller size, so that they can survive for the timing, and then they will pull the punches, and they will go back into the growth mode again. And you might even actually get a call from your former employees again in that situation. But for the time being, whoever is unemployed, who might be sitting at home, first and foremost, let go of the guilt that you might have done something wrong. Most of you, I'm pretty sure, have done nothing wrong, and your employment has been lost only and only because of the situation that uh, is prevailing in this corona epidemic. uh, Second thing that you need to do is you need to go online, and you need to start getting more and more skillful certifications added to your profile. So there are a lot of webinars going on. There are a lot of online courses, online certifications that are going on, which can help you get your profile much more stronger for the next job, wherever you want to apply. So it is very important that you keep yourself sharp, you keep your education, you keep your knowledge base updated. And it is very important to take these seminars and webinars, and these kind of online examinations and tests, aptitude test, and other qualifications and certifications, so that you can prove that you have been updating yourself with all the new things that are coming in your industry. So if you are, for example, a chartered accountant, there are certain certifications and webinars going on. If you are an engineer, there are other updates and modification coming in. Furthermore, for Archana, you are, as a mechanical engineer, can still work in a lot of healthcare companies. For example, I'll just give you an example of the companies uh, that are modifying themselves. They basically manufacture other machineries, but right now they are modifying themselves to create machines for the healthcare industry. Say, ventilators have been created by. Just giving you an example, I'm not saying that it is pretty high standard when it comes to Elon Musk, but even Elon Musk and his company Tesla are actually uh, manufacturing ventilators right now. Um, it is on the request by the government, of course, but there are a lot of companies like Mahindra and Mahindra in India who have taken up the initiative now that they want to manufacture ventilators and respiratory enhancement machines, so that they can support their business. At the same time, they can support the country and the healthcare system in various countries in this testing time. So even in these areas, you can update yourself first and foremost, and you can actually apply for these jobs as well, because there is a lot of shortage of workforce in these businesses. It is risky to go out in these times and then work, but nonetheless you can actually do that. So there is one more avenue that you can look into. Likewise, there are different sectors in which an engineer works. So an engineer can work in manufacturing, an engineer can work in sales and services as well. So you have not mentioned what department you were working in your existing employment. So I'm just assuming you are working manufacturing and supervision part of the manufacturing unit. But there are various companies who might be working in the same industry, who might be working in manufacturing of the same product, and they might have an opening uh, in the same vertical, but at a different part of the whole manufacturing and sales process. So you might actually have to take a pay cut even in that case, and you might have to compromise, and you might have to take an internship in the meantime in various companies. Internship is very important tool right now to keep yourself updated. If you are at home, it is much more useful for you to go for internship and trainings in various companies. You can go for management training as well in various companies. The pay might not be there, you might not even get paid, but it will keep you updated and it will keep you active, and with a chance to get absorbed in these companies where you might be doing your internship, your training. uh, so you can look into that option again. You can learn new skills in this time. You can stay positive. uh, if you are working in a manufacturing unit and you basically don't know anything about sales, to be very frank, you don't know any specialized knowledge about sales, and this is a good time when you can actually learn that and even actually make a career in the sales part. After sales services are also there, which could be critical, which could be critical for a lot of businesses. You can actually look into that option as well. uh, so yeah, there are avenues for you as an engineer. There are a lot of avenues for you. Depends on how much experience you have. You have not stated that part as well. So yeah, you need to look into these things. Anyone who is sitting at home, who is unemployed, already unemployed, you need to start getting up and you need to start running. You need to start working. The more the time you sit at home without anything to do, more demotivated you will get, more weaker you will get mentally, and there are lesser chances for you to get absorbed in the right kind of job opportunity. If you don't keep yourself updated, everyone else, even the freshers, are going to actually overtake you. They are going to go ahead and they are going to take the opportunities first and foremost from your hand. uh, Interviews are very important, so you need to apply for as many jobs as possible. Stay positive, go for interviews, give it online. There are online interviews going on all the time. You can give online interviews on Zoom call as well, on Skype or Zoom call or whatever the other platforms that you might be using. And keep giving interviews. That will give you a good reference point of what is exactly going on in the market. uh, Always stay composed. If you don't stay composed, and if you feel depressed, and if you don't distract yourself enough every day, it is going to take a toll on you. So every person who is unemployed right now, you need to take a step back and you need to look at the reality. The reality is that the market is slack right now. There is nothing positive about the market right now, especially when it comes to jobs. It is going to be hard. So you need to get off your asses right now. You need to go to platforms like Upwork, platforms like Freelancer, platforms like work from home, and all these various other platforms that you can actually search on Google. There are a lot of platforms. I'm just putting a disclaimer here that there are a lot of platforms online that are not authentic enough. You might actually work on them, and then they will not pay you. So it is very important that you work on the right authenticated, well known platforms, which will pay you in the correct manner, in the correct bank by the correct banking channel. So keep that in mind, and I think you will be fine. You will be able to earn something or the other on the freelance basis, because right now the freelance board is going to be overloaded with a lot of work. There are very few freelancers per se. When it comes to basically, what I've seen is that most of the time the freelancers available are not enough for the amount of work that comes in at any point of time. I have seen freelancers opening their own offices with a contract with a 2 or 3 or 5 years contract with various clients that they have met on Upwork. So that is a very good and a healthy kind of a situation for you that can be created by working as a freelancer initially. So yeah, look into that. That will actually help you out a lot. uh, yeah, I mean, these are the options. Do write to me any other question that you might have. We have just about covered all of it. So there is a shout out to venture capitalists who might be listening, that uh, to absorb the right kind of startups right now, you need the right kind of analysis as well. There is going to be a lot of window dressing of accounts. There is going to be a lot of unethical activities that are going to creep into the market. So I would even appeal to the investors and venture capitalists that you need to hire the right kind of professionals who have the experience and expertise in these matters of investment, and they will actually help you out with where to invest and where not to invest. The last thing that any other of us professionals, any of us advisors and consultants want is the important resources that you possess right now be put into the wrong place. There will be a lot of fraudulent activities. Even the banks are actually going to stricten their due diligence part. They are going to stricten their background checks and everything. So yeah, it's about time that even you take diligence to that, and start a very vigilant program in which before investing you are doing the right kind of investigation of the companies you are investing into. So I hope that this will help you out. uh, all considered, startups can still get investment, unemployed can still earn money, and we can all work together in a very positive manner, and we can get through this situation. Working remotely has changed the landscape. During this lockdown, we have found out that we actually don't require offices in a lot of situations. People are happy to work from home. People in certain cases have started working much more efficiently because they are working from home. We have seen that during these lockdowns, we have actually gotten much more closer to our families. We have also felt better health wise because we have gotten a lot of rest while we are not traveling all the time, while we are not worrying about everything. Uh, the environment has gotten better. Of course, that's one whole different thing that we can actually discuss. But the human resource has actually felt better till the time they have not taken any kind of stress. The stress that has been felt is by the unskilled labor who are poor, who are surviving on everyday wage. It's not monthly salary for them, it's everyday wage that they are earning. They are actually supporting their family. They have had the hardest hit during this period. All the businesses, whatever you might be able to, you should donate some or the other fund, some or the other amount from your side for these sections of the population who are unskilled labor, who are working in manufacturing units, who are working in construction units, who are working in various other unskilled labor jobs as well, who have lost everything they had. They had to migrate from cities to their villages. They have to migrate from one place to other just to uh, make and meet, just to find food, just to find shelter in this testing time. It is a very big responsibility of each and every person, each and every entrepreneur to chip in with even a small amount as $50 or $10 even, which will be helpful to these people. Whatever we can spare after that, we should actually donate that to the healthcare system in our country, because they are sooner or later getting overwhelmed. We have seen this everywhere in the world, that sooner or later the infection has not been able to be contained anywhere 100%, and it is not something that is going to be eradicated. So the healthcare industry in the next 6 months is going to feel the wrath again. They are going to be our stumbling block on which we keep everything normal, and we need to take care of this healthcare industry. There are in India, I have seen a bizarre story. In India, the healthcare professionals, the doctors, the nurses that are working in the front line, the government has deducted 1 month salary of these healthcare workers as a donation for the people who are affected by coronavirus. This is absolutely absurd. First and foremost, they are risking their life in the front line, fighting all the coronavirus patients, risking their life, their health, and the health of their family. They are not resting, they are working day and night, 12 hours plus at one shift in one go. And you don't have the right, first and foremost, to take away 1 month salary from them. They need to support their families as well. So even these kind of social discriminations and inequalities has been seen in India. In my in front of me in India, there is so much problem creeping in because of the tension and anxiety and other factors that come in when you are locked down in home. Domestic violence has gone up in India and in various other countries where the population is very dense. It really makes for suffocation of social relationships, and it leads to these kind of wrongdoings like domestic violence and all that. And only way to get out of it is first and foremost to end the lockdown as soon as possible. Secondly, to distract yourself from whatever you are thinking right now, because most of the people are thinking negative things. uh, the media is not helping. The news that you are watching is making you even more paranoid. So it is worth saying that you need to distract yourself with increasing your productivity by learning new skills, by learning new things every day, looking after yourself and looking after the family, taking care of the common sense in everything you are doing. If you are not having the common sense, if you are not thinking in the right manner, you are going to make the wrong decisions, and those wrong decisions are only going to make the situation even worse. So, and stay home. That is very important. You need to stay home so that we can finish this lockdown as soon as possible. No matter what anyone says, no matter what anyone taunts you, every person who might be unemployed right now is not wasted. Your life has not ended, and it's not going to end tomorrow as well. Our life is a gift. This is called present because it's a gift. You are alive, you are healthy. That stands for something. There are a lot of people who are not healthy these days. There are millions and millions of people who are being affected by coronavirus, by COVID 19, or some other health issue, uh, and other such relating issues as well. And every person who might be listening to this and who is healthy, you need to understand that you have a gift today. You need to make most of it. Love and care, talk to your family in the proper manner. Let go of this domestic violence, let go of your frustrations, and you need to start thinking straight. The earlier you start, the better you will be. And you need to spread this positivity as much as possible in the society by social media. While doing the social distancing norms, you can still talk to people, you can still talk to your relatives, your friends, and they will in turn talk to their relatives and friends, and this will go on. The positivity has to be instilled at this time. It is exceptionally important that we take care of this. Let go of all the political news that you are seeing, the political plays that have been put in, especially in US and in India. And I think everywhere in each and every country there is some or the other political agenda that has been taken up by media. You need to let go of these news. These news are going to eat you up from inside, and it will waste you, absolutely waste you, because you will be shell shocked when you see that how much pandemic is endangering you. If it is going to infect you, it is going to infect you. If it is going to infect me, I'm pretty sure I cannot stop it. All I can do is I can hope that it will not give me any trouble. It will not give my body any trouble, or it will not infect my family especially. I hope so. I can just hope. The scientists are working on hope for a long time right now, and it is not something that science does. Science tries to find reasons behind what actions they are recommending. We have taken so many actions which had been recommended by the science community without knowing anything about it, and we are still doing that. We are still continuing to learn uh, new things about this COVID-19. So when science does not have explanations for the recommendations they are putting up front, we have to understand that this is something we cannot prevent. If something is going to happen, it is going to happen. What we can do is we can live our life to the fullest. We can live our life happily, spread positivity, enjoy our time with our family before this lockdown and everything is over, and cherish these memories, because God knows that we don't want another lockdown after this. So I hope that this podcast has been a good one for you. I hope that we have been productive enough for you. I hope that this session will actually help you in a very productive manner in your life, and you will come out better from today itself. With that thought, I end this podcast for today. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye. Take care and be safe.